robbed of their youth. And when I say young women, I mean like women between the ages of like 19.
But this makes no sense. This is not making sense to me. Like, I never felt the urge to go online or have like a public conversation. Like, we need to show some ass out here pronto. Okay, so reacting to modest women are getting bullied off the internet. Let's see how the internet feeling about modest women nowadays.
There's a new epidemic in the US that no one is talking about. That is the epidemic of modesty.
Women who make modesty content are some of the biggest pick-me's. You're actively saying, look at how covered I am. Don't I deserve the respect and she doesn't?
I'm so serious when I say I do not care about modesty.
Gen Z modesty, no. No, I'm not falling for it. I'm getting drunk, I'm wearing mini skirts, going to the club, staying out till 4 a.m. Maybe I'll have a cigarette.
Can we leave the modest fashion after this year? You're 21. It is your responsibility to be hot.
It's crazy to see women attacking women for being too modest. No, this is strictly perversion.
All of those TikToks were horrible. I wanted to say something after each one. Hold on. I mean, first of all, you can be modest and good looking. That's the problem. If you associating sluttiness equals looking good equals you a 10, you got it mixed up. I'm not gonna lie. And if you don't want to be modest, that's cool. I mean, it's not for you, okay? But if it's for somebody, okay as well, you feel me? Like, I'm not gonna knock somebody for being modest. I'm not gonna not knock somebody for not wanting to be, or I'm not gonna knock somebody for not wanting to be modest. You feel me? Like, I guess everybody got their own thing. Everybody got their own opinion. I mean, let me not say that completely. There's some outfits that are like, but we can get into that.
We have entered the day and age where the internet is dragging women for simply putting on clothes. From modesty being labeled as oppressive and covering up being called spiritual gaslighting, it's no longer just clothing, it's becoming a problem many people feel they need to call out. And the way people are talking about it now, it's becoming less criticism and something way more deeper we need to unpack. This video isn't going to be telling women how to dress. It's about what happens when women decide not to dress a certain way and why for some people it's a problem. Welcome to the Girl Talk you didn't know you needed. And I'm not saying you have to subscribe. You're classy. I know you don't just give those away for free, but hopefully at the end of this video we become bestie enough for you to take that next step. There was a time when dressing modestly wasn't really a statement, it was just the norm. If we want to be real, back in the day, no one really called modesty. It was just how women showed up. It was how they were supposed to show up.
She looked like this. The same suit, but nicely fitted. Her plain pumps were in excellent taste, a good buy because they could be worn with practically everything. And her tailored blouse was perfect.
If you were going to prom, if you were going to church, your knees probably weren't showing. And it didn't feel restrictive. It just...
The thing is, that was the standard, though. That's why it wasn't called anything. Like you said, it was the norm. Now it's like modesty not the standard. It's not the norm. It's not what people want to see. So now we put a name on it. You feel me?
Just felt normal.
Now here is something super important. Bare knees were a no-no. Despite what you see in modern period dramas or 1950s musicals set in the 20s, you wouldn't usually expose your knees more than literally the lower edge of your kneecap.
No one accused you of hiding, of being insecure. No one thought you were ashamed to show your body. Now, of course, some people would argue that the modern era back in the day wasn't always as harmless as I'm making it out to seem. And they honestly wouldn't be wrong, because back then there definitely were women who were forcibly told that they needed to cover up to be respected.
While an occasional flash of an ankle or a calf was considered more or less appropriate, if a grown-up woman wanted to walk around the city in a knee-length dress, she would most likely ruin her reputation.
Author Amal Hawad doesn't wear the hijab. and says the choice to wear one should be well informed.
There are women in the world who don't have a choice to wear it. You see discussion of choice more in the West. But we have to be honest about this not always being the case.
So, we're not going to ignore the fact that for some women, covering up was sometimes weaponized, either by their culture, their parents, or men. But over time, we've flipped the switch so much in the other direction that now choosing to cover up on your own terms is a little unsettling. It seems like modesty is coming with assumptions before you can even open your mouth.
Saying I dress modestly because I respect myself is just purity culture dressed up as a personality trait. Who said that?
Dressing modestly.
I just hope nobody overgeneralizing. I'm so against that. I'm so against that. Like, if you see me and I'm dressed modest and you thinking, oh, she probably thinks she's better than everybody else, you're dumb. You are. What's up with that? Did I say that? Some people, it's whatever you naturally like, you feel me? I may naturally like to be covered up one day. I mean, I'm like a group. I have so many different styles, you feel me? So like one day I might be super modest, one day I might be on some chill type time, and one day I might be dressed like a rock star, dressed like a tomboy. Like I have different fits, but I wouldn't make an assumption about a whole person's character. And then I get it, like, yeah, there's some people who do fit what they're appearing as, but it's not everybody.
Is no longer being seen as neutral. Instead, it's becoming something people feel like they need to explain, defend, or even tear down.
The amount of people that make fun of me for being a modest mother is so weird to me. I made a couple of videos about the swimsuits that me and my kids wear. They're high necks and they're tank tops that are long and they cover up everything. People are literally telling me I'm a bad mother because I don't let my kids wear bikinis and thongs.
That makes you a bad mom? You know, the list can go on and on and on why somebody could be a bad parent. That's not on the fucking list.
What is making me a bad mother? Teaching my kids that modesty is a good thing?
We're seeing modesty get treated as a warning sign instead of a wardrobe choice. Because the idea that some women may genuinely prefer to show less skin, that doesn't register anymore. Instead, what registers is that she's oppressed, ashamed, and trying to make a statement she never said.
The women who preach modesty be so male-centered. Their brain literally revolves around the thoughts of a man and securing a husband all day long and worshiping a man.
Wait, hold on. Because the same exact thing can be said around women who don't dress modest too, though. Let's keep it a band. You don't think some women like to show a little extra skin so they can have extra attention from males? Are we gonna act like that's not a thing too, though? Two sides to every story.
Actively saying, look at me, look at how I'm doing it, look at how I'm wearing it. Isn't this better than what she's doing?
As more women are starting to dress more modestly, people are trying to decode it like it's a message. Like maybe these women are trying to prove something, hide something, or be better than everyone else. We're seeing many people label modest women as insecure, performative, and even pick-me's.
Isn't it crazy that women are catching heat for being too modest? So now being different means
people aren't considering religion as well.
Say that the reason they can't let this trend catch on is because the actual attractive women are gonna win. Like, they can't participate.
The main argument seems to be that it's really not about modesty and it's more about a performance. Almost like a quiet way to say, look at me, I'm not like them.
Dressing modestly in Miami to show the girls that you can be sexy and elegant. Not all of us want to look like free hookers.
If your real goal was to get more women to dress more like you, to dress more modest, do you think addressing them like that is going to work? Do you think degrading them, belittling them, acting very disgusted towards them, calling them what you call them, do you think that's what's going to get them, oh my goodness, yeah, she's totally right, I want to dress more modest?
The irony...
She has a point. Like, if I'm over there, if I'm out with a fishnet outfit, granted, I might look like a hooker, you feel me? But if you want to convince me to dress more modest, you coming at me, you a hooker, stripper, you need a dress and show, like, It's going to be noise. It's going to be noise.
Modesty was never supposed to be this loud, bold statement that had women wanting to be seen and looked at. It's just the reactions behind it made people look at it a lot more. And the way people are reacting to it circles back to one little insult that I'm pretty sure a lot of you have probably heard. And that is that a lot of the women dressing modestly are only dressing modest because they can't be sexy and show skin.
So these people who give these internet think pieces about like, oh, dressing modest, it's because they don't know how to be sexy. I said it.
Which is a crazy argument. It's like if you're not participating in the sexy aesthetic, it's because you weren't invited. But I think a lot of people are forgetting that a lot of women didn't ask to be put in that aesthetic in the first place.
If you that girl, you that girl though. You can have a sweatsuit on, hoodie, joggers, sneakers, puffer coat, and still be the baddest one in the room. Everybody else can have, they could be showing skin or whatever type stuff, whatever. You can have that still be the baddest one in the room, respectfully. You know when you're that girl.
One thing that I will never understand is society's desire to taint innocence. I seen this video come across my TikTok, just from what I could tell from the caption. I can tell she's a Christian woman who is God-fearing and very modest. And in the comments, people were saying to free her, that she needs to go to a club, that she needs to...
Going to the club is going to free somebody? That sounds like Satan himself. And ignorance. And being misguided. Oh, girl, you need to go to the club. Man, you need to come to the party with us. Free yourself.
Dress more provocative. That she needs to go to LA and become a model. That she needs to get on Love Island. We see something beautiful and it's like we want to throw it out to the wolves.
Now, I tapped into that conversation in my most recent video, Sexy is Starting to Look Desperate. A lot of you probably haven't seen it because YouTube decided to flag it because it was a little too hot to handle. So if you want to check that video out, I will read it in the description box below so that you can get into the tea. But there's this growing assignment that if you're a young woman, you need to be outside, you need to be free, you need to be a hot girl.
What's this? Why is this being peddled to me on my For You page right before summer? Some woman on my For You page tried to sell me this. We are coming into summer, ladies. I want to see butt cheeks. I want to see some underboob.
Really hate to see young women. Every day I come on this app being robbed of their youth. And when I say young women, I mean like women between the ages of like 19.
But this makes no sense. This is not making sense to me. Like, I never felt the urge to go online or have like a public conversation like, we need to show some ass out here. Pronto. I need to see the nips showing. I need that. I need to see it. That's kind of weird. Like, I don't know. I mean, everybody can do what they want to do, but I never felt the need, like, I might say on some joke type time, like, if I pull up to the party with ass. I like to joke. But I never felt like this, it need to be a needed thing, you feel me? Like, girls need to have their ass out. I mean, that's a crazy ass passion.
26. Who lied to the girls and told the girls that they have to dress like middle-aged women who are dropping their kids off to school, who are going to Pilates, who are getting coffee. I just want the girls to be sexy and cool again.
Now, when the girlies say
modest women aren't cool though, like, this is what I'm talking about. Or like, if I'm fully clothed, am I not sexy? It's misconception. That's misconception. You can be, like I said, you can be sexy in the sweatsuit. Or you can be sexy with the sundress on. You feel me? Like, it's both. If you that one, some people are just naturally sexy though. You feel me? No matter what they have on, they sexy.
that clothing was becoming more conservative. Last night, I was window shopping on the typical sites, Shein, Fashion Nova. Where is the cleavage?
Now, this is the part where we're going to have a lot of people mad in the comments. A lot of women aren't dressing for themselves. They're dressing for proof that they still got it. And while, yes, y'all know I'm not the type of person that will shame a woman for wanting to show skin, for wanting to be seen, there's just a difference in being empowered in your body and then feeling pressured to have to prove that empowerment.
Every time I take a photo and I want to give sexy, I feel like it never comes out like that. I hate that my face is just like cute and not like seductive, and like I have no idea how to portray myself as like a sexy individual.
And I really want to say this because I've been getting a lot of comments of people saying, Janae, you only point out women and what they're wearing and what they're doing. First of all, this is the girl talk. Okay, a lot of you get it, but a lot of people, they only see the surface level of these conversations and they think that I'm pointing fingers at only women. We're pointing fingers at the deeper meaning behind them. For the people who only see the surface, I'm gonna need you to go a little deeper. Just a little deeper. But if you've been here long enough, you know that everything we're talking about ties right back into social media. Social media praises this behavior. They praise women for being confident, but only when it looks a certain way. So if confidence comes in a turtleneck, suddenly it's giving pick me or save me.
You know, it's really crazy. As soon as a woman doesn't want to have clothes on, as soon as a woman wants to wear a bikini, wants to have her stomach out, her boobs out, her butt out, it's fine. As soon as a woman who wants to wear long sleeve, wants to cover their hair, doesn't want to show their bum, their boobs, it's an issue. It's a problem.
Now let's be real. Women dress modest for multiple reasons.
That's so
it could
weird.
be for comfort. It could be it's just because it's their style, or maybe even their religion. And one of the biggest criticisms that a lot of modest women face today is that their modesty isn't real. It's a cry for help in disguise.
So my hijab comes into question whenever I mention cultural issues. People say things like, so take down the patriarchy by taking off your hijab. It's that easy. I have to clarify, my hijab isn't cultural, it's religious. And no, I'm not oppressed.
No, people are not this uneducated.
But if I feel empowered wearing it, you have no authority to tell me to take it off because it doesn't fit your standards of empowerment.
The moment a woman chooses to cover herself up with hijab, suddenly it's oppression. Suddenly she must be brainwashed, controlled, or forced. So freedom only counts when it fits your narrative.
Now here's where it gets a little concerning and alarming, because some people aren't just uncomfortable about modesty, they see it as oppressive.
Why is modesty even encouraged? Like, why do we have certain dress codes in schools? Why is not being modest considered immoral? It's oppression. It's oppression towards women. That's what it is.
And it's wild how we fought for freedom of expression just to shame the women who express it differently.
I'm thinking about quitting my modesty series because people are way too judgmental. Let's talk about it. So I started a modesty series where I show you guys how I make outfits more modest. The point of the series was to show you guys that modesty isn't this religious, judgmental, opinionated standard that people have created. The level of backlash and judgment I received was way more than I expected.
If we wanted to play enemy's advocate, because y'all know we're always going to look at the other side, there are women who are pressured to dress modestly, especially in certain situations where it's used more as control than choice.
A man is not making me wear the hijab, I am making myself wear the hijab. Every single day I wake up and I make the conscious decision to wear it, but if I wake up one day and don't want to, I don't have to.
Evident from these takes that you've always viewed the hijab as an option, something you can put on by choice or take off by choice. For millions of women living in Iran and Afghanistan and Saudi Arabia, it is not optional. It is literally the law.
But that's not the case for everyone. This idea that you might simply just have your own standards is starting to be treated as delusion, and I understand that it probably gets really frustrating because the women who choose to dress modestly are hearing from other people you only dress that way because someone told you to.
Do y'all realize that modest?
That's not true. Like, why can't we understand people make their own decisions because they genuinely want to? Like, for me, even before I got really tapped in with religion or like with my walk with God, like I wasn't like a hypersexual person. You know what I mean? Like, people like give their bodies out or whatever. If that's you, cool. But like, I wasn't like that. And it wasn't because I'm like, oh, because God. No, I naturally just not like that. I don't just be giving myself out. You feel me? And it wasn't because of God. I mean, there's a lot of things I do today in honor of God. But that one, it didn't start off because of God. It was just because naturally, I just felt like I didn't want to give myself out like that. So people got to understand, people make their own decisions because they genuinely want
This
to.
modest summer trend is a push from conservatives to have control over your bodies. Like, do you guys know that? Because I see so many people posting about
The mood for the summer is modest summer. I feel like it's propaganda at this point.
Your womb develops a child. Your breast feed children. I believe that men knew that. They saw it, they were jealous, and they decided to tell us that it was disgusting and to cover it up.
It's like modesty has to be explained while everything else just gets celebrated by society. And honestly, I believe that's why this war started. There's this back and forth between women who feel policed for showing too much, and then on the other hand, there's women who feel attacked for not showing enough.
Why is it so imperative that you do have to have your ass and tip out? I think some of us be out here doing too much and just not realizing like our body's a temple. But
first and foremost, the audacity.
Cause like, why does that irritate you though? To me, that kind of gives you kind of feel guilty about how you're dressing, and you want to make the other person to feel guilty too, and that's why you attacking them. That's what it kind of gives, because before you was looked as a certain type of way if you dress less modest. So now, even though that's the norm now, some people may still feel guilty that they want to dress like that. They want to dress less modest. And they're trying to make people who dress modest feel bad for it. So they can have the same level of like guilt, shame, or whatever it is. But like, man, just worry about your clothes and they can worry about theirs.
Critiquing my desire to have my cleavage
everybody's
out
right
for
to
the
an
summer.
opinion, though.
While your cleavage is out in the video. You're in this video shaming me for wanting to have cleavage and talking about what's wrong with being a little mysterious with your body while I can see down your shirt.
And it turned into less of a conversation about choice and more of a competition between who's doing it right. If you're a modest woman and you feel like people are coming at you for the ways that you dress, the judgment can definitely be there. The assumptions can most likely be loud and proud, but your choice is still your choice and you don't owe anyone an explanation for doing it. Modesty doesn't mean you're better than everyone else, but it also doesn't mean you're broken, insecure, or in need of saving. It's just that in a culture that constantly demands access to everything, choosing not to give that access is the biggest power move you could ever pull. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, because I know I'm not the only one that's seeing this shift. Thank you for tuning into the Girl Talk you didn't know you needed. If you made it this far, go ahead and leave a purple heart down below. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
Can y'all leave a little something for me too? Like, subscribe, comment. You know, I want to know what y'all think. I like to spark a conversation, you feel me? But thank you for tapping in. I'll see y'all next time.